Welcome to the week 7 of our course, and this week will be devoted to the education as creative industry. First of all, once we're starting to speak about education as industry, we should, define education as industrialized good. And of course, during especially the second half of the 20th century, we can see how the education technologies, how the new ways of making master lectures accessible to people are industrializing their education. And of course, here we can do a reference to Wilbur Schramm, very known media scholar from United States, who distinguished 4 main stages of technological intervention of machine into educational process, starting from direct presence of the master, then the book reproduction of master's idea, and once we speak about textbooks, which appeared even during the Middle Ages, in this case we can speak about the beginning of the mediatization of the education, because once you have a textbook, you have a part of the master's idea which are put into the pages of such books. Then we have deal with visual reproduction, such as television, photo, etc. And this is especially technologies which are coming into the education much more later, in television, especially in the second half of the 20th century. And finally, the direct interaction between machine and student, which we can observe right now with the rise of what we call blended learning and other, computer-mediated education interaction. So it means that teacher right now is reproducible via different platforms. And in this case, not all the education, not all field of the education is based on a direct contact between the teacher and the listener, between teacher and student, because actually we have a lot of forms of mediatization of this relationship, and especially our course is one of such mediatization form. This is the form of multimedia interaction or video interaction between me as a teacher and you as a student. Of course, book, television, multimedia interaction, video conference, and other forms of interactions could be used, and they are especially making education reproducible. Similarly, then other kind of cultural goods. And now we'll take a look on that, especially by watching the interview with Philippe Bouquillon from University of Paris 13, Paris Nord University, Northern Paris University, who is chairing the laboratory of cultural creativity and cultural industries in this university. What do you think about the notion of creative industries and the university? What is the relationship between them? Because in some literature, even in academic literature in field of the so-called education studies, sometime we can find ideas or conclusions that the university now is one of the creative industries. What do you think about it?
So there is 2 ways to answer your questions, the conceptual way and the practical way. And in fact now in France we don't consider in the academic field that we don't consider that we belong to the creative industries. Anyway, most of the French academics don't know what creative industry are. But on the conceptual way, of course, I think it is a very interesting question, because intellectual works has many things in common with artistic work. It is something immaterial, The question of symbolic value is very important. The question of reputation, and you have to manage a lot of human work to product courses. It's labor mainly. So I think there are many things in common. And for instance, Pierre Meglin considered that the university or education belongs to the creative industries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ilya.